Orange blazer and all for the debut for Tony Elliott as he takes on the Richmond Spiders at the 35th all-time meeting between these two programs. The Cavaliers will put their weapons on display. I know we're going to play today because we have a football that just came into Scott Stadium. ACC football is presented by your local Ford dealer. It's the Richmond Spiders and the Virginia Cavaliers to open up 2022. And it is so great to have you with us for our game this afternoon in the ACC. Tom Wormy along with James Bates. Lindsey Riley will join us in just a moment. James, we're so excited to kick off the season here for 2022. And here in Charlottesville, it's a special day and the start of a new era.
I think last year on this day, I said this was the greatest day of my life. I lied. It's right now, right now. I'm so excited. I'm excited for these kids to once again, football's changing. It's changing, new playoff format. All of this is coming along. But at the end of the day, they're about to go and live out a dream. Guys like Tristan Wheeler for Richmond, Brennan Armstrong for Virginia, Lavelle Davis finally back out there after an injury. They're out there playing a sport that they love. The fans are clapping. They're all back in full force, and we're in beautiful Charlottesville. I can't wait to kick it off.
Scott Stadium splashed in sunshine, and here comes the Cavalier on the trusty seed, Saber. So Virginia opening up its 68th season in the ACC. And yesterday we had a chance to talk to Tony Elliott. James, I ask you, is there a coach taking over a program more prepared in all of the country than Tony Elliott? All the success with Dabo Swinney at Clemson, and that includes a couple of national championships.
That's a great point. He's been around a team that has done nothing but win for so many years under one of the greats to ever do it in Dabo Swinney. How does it translate, though? This is the big mystery, not just for Tony Elliott, but for so many out there. You see him coming in with his sons, AJ and Ace, walking in doing the Wahoo walk for the first time. That's not just the only thing he's doing for the first time. Every single thing he's done over the last couple months has been for the first time. He said finally, he just threw his schedule, his planner out the window. He said, as an offensive coordinator, I can schedule. But when I'm a head coach, someone's knocking on my door constantly, and it never, ever stops. But you know what? It slows down a little bit. You know how they talk about basketball players? The hoop gets bigger, the game slows down. It slows down a little bit today because he's just back to coaching. He can take all the fluff and put it to the side and just go coach ball and enjoy with his guys.
Yeah, and for more on the first-year coach on the sidelines here at Virginia, we go down to the sidelines and the third member of our broadcast team, Lindsey Riley.
Thanks, Tom. As you guys said, today marks day number 1 in the Tony Elliott era here at Virginia. However, Coach Elliott is no stranger to the ACC, seeing as he played his college ball at Clemson University, where he walked on as a wide receiver. But by his senior year, he was a team captain. Now, Elliott started his coaching career at South Carolina State for 2 seasons and then 3 seasons at Furman, coaching wide receivers at both. But then Coach found his way back to his alma mater, where he was an assistant coach under Dabo Swinney for 11 seasons. In 2017, he even won the Frank Broyles Award as the nation's top assistant. I reached out to the Tigers bench boss earlier this week to hear from him on Elliott making the move to UVA, and Coach Swinney said, "I'm so thankful that everyone in the Virginia family and community, and most importantly, his players, are having the opportunity to be blessed by his wisdom and his presence on a daily basis. He's more than prepared and ready, and I'm pulling for him all the way, unless we see him in Charlotte." Guys?
Lindsey, thank you. We look forward to your reports all afternoon long. Clemson and Virginia do not play this year or next year. They'll play at Clemson in 2024. Virginia won the toss, selected to defer, so Richmond will get the ball to start. 35th all-time meeting between the two programs. Virginia has a big lead in the series, although back in 2016, Richmond came here to Scott Stadium and won 37-20, James. That was Bronco Mendenhall's first game as the Virginia head coach.
Yeah, it hasn't been a pretty first outing for a lot of these UVA coaches as of late. Tony Elliott hoping to turn the tide on that as we look across the field. There's Russ Huseman in his 6th season, a graduate of what used to be UTC, now it's just Chattanooga down there in East Tennessee, but had a great talk with him and his staff earlier this week. He's got a new offensive coordinator in Billy Kosh.
Aaron Dykes, the deep man for the Spiders. Just 75 miles separates these two campuses. And we're ready to kick off 2022. And so are the fans inside of Scott Stadium. Plenty of orange and blue, and including those uniforms as well, James, that Virginia is wearing for the first time since 2010.
Yeah, prior to that, it had been an even longer stretch. 1986. Here we go.
Farrell's kick is fielded at the 3. Dykes bashes into the 15 and up close to the 18-yard line. Somebody lost a hat in there as well. And so it will be a 15-yard return by Dykes on the opening kickoff. So Reese Udinsky, the graduate student from North Wales, Pennsylvania. He played at Maryland sparingly last year, James, and put up impressive numbers at VMI prior to that.
Yeah, you know, all the talk coming in, not just here, but in the ACC about Brennan Armstrong, justifiably so. But watch out for number 2. Udinsky is a heck of a quarterback with a few weapons around him as well.
Yeah, played in 39 games for the Keydets as that first pass sails and incomplete. Looking for Smith out in the flat. So the Spiders out of the Colonial Athletic Association. They went 6-5 a season ago. They were 4-4 in conference play, and that tied for 4th in their conference standings. They won the last 4 games of the season last year. They'll try to go up the middle to the 20-yard line and stop. That was Dykes. And it's a gain of 2. All right, our impact players are brought to you by your local Toyota dealers, Bates.
There we go. Okay, along with Udinsky, a former VMI guy, stud out there at the receiver spot 14. Jake Harris is long and an outstanding wide receiver. Watch out for Nick Jackson, sideline to sideline from the linebacker spot. Here's a 3rd and long.
Jackson was the leading tackler last year for Virginia, and they'll tackle the quarterback at the 25-yard line. That's 3 yards short. James Jackson came in for the tackle. A 5-yard gain is not enough. Ben Smiley put on the pressure as well, and the Spiders are forced to punt.
A lot of unknowns out here today, and not just with Tony Elliott, but John Rosinski, the new defensive coordinator for Virginia. Billy Koch, new offensive coordinator for Richmond. It's a 3-and-out for Rosinski's defense to start this, but they'll have to adjust and see on the fly what's going on here with both these squads.
Aaron Trussler with the punt. Fair catch signaled. There was some contact as Billy Kemp was trying to meet that football. So the punt officially is going to be 49 yards, and Kemp was unable to make his fair catch. So when we come back, we'll get a look at that Virginia offense and Brennan Armstrong, the senior quarterback who put up ridiculous numbers a season ago. He gets his first taste of the season as he leads the offense onto the field here at Scott Stadium against the Spiders. Scott Stadium, Virginia and Richmond. The Cavaliers have the football at their own 30-yard line. Brennan Armstrong, who threw for 4,449 yards a season ago, best in the ACC. Bates will lead the offense onto the field for their first series.
Yeah, here we go. Averaged 404-plus yards a game last year. No other ACC quarterback averaged over 350. But times have changed here on the ground, so don't expect him to throw it around about 70 times a game like he did a couple times last year. But he can use those legs as well. And look at him going under center. First snap.
Play fake. The lefty slings it up past the 40-yard line. And the catch made for Virginia as Wicks was able to grab that one for 13 yards. It was Sigler on the coverage for Richmond.
Nice pitch and catch to start things off and move those chains, unlike Richmond. UVA, first time with the ball, move the chains up near midfield.
Another quick toss. That's Wicks again trying to spin away from the defender near the 35-yard line. Tristan Wheeler on the tackle for the Spiders. They got 4 yards on that play. Time for the impact players, brought to you by your local Toyota dealers with Virginia on offense.
Well, all those studs that have come through Clemson at wide receiver that Tony Elliott coached, he said the Wicks is as good as he's ever been around. That is high praise for the junior. And very impressed these coaches with his work ethic there in the offseason. They've got some good DBs for Richmond as well, and doing a good job of stepping up here and defending the run. First time they go to the ground with Paris Jones.
No gain on the play. Wheeler once again in on the tackle for the Spiders.
Yeah, and there's our chance to talk about Wheeler. I got so caught up on Dontavian Wicks. 25th straight start for the junior linebacker, Tristan Wheeler. Back-to-back 100-plus tackle seasons. The linebacker for the Spiders. Let's see if they can get off the field here.
Armstrong on the run, makes a move at midfield and gets forced out of bounds. Right near midfield by Bryson Parker. He got 2 on the scamper. So they spot the ball at the Virginia 49.
Yeah, just going to play it safe here. Maybe you're in a little bit more of a groove offensively. Maybe you send that offense out there, put them under center. And, you know, this is a brand new defensive front for Richmond. See if you can draw them off sides and get a freebie. Just going to play the field position game right here and go ahead and punt it away.
Daniel Sparks back to punt for Virginia. Savon Smith. He'll let that one sail near the goal line, and it will go into the end zone. 52 yards on the punt. And so Richmond able to stop Virginia on its first series. And now we get a message from Works Nitro.
Meet Works Nitro. Powerful tools for any project with gas-like power without the gas. Fueled by PowerShare batteries to give you the power to outperform.
So James, Richmond has to feel pretty good about that first series. Remember, Virginia averaging over 500 yards per game. First in the conference last year.
And Sparks, he's a big guy at 6'6", 203, but, you know, don't put all that leg into it there. Help your defense out a little bit. They start on the 20, and they'll gain 5 here on the first play.
Josiah Williams on the catch for the sophomore from Petersburg, Virginia, from Reese Udinsky. 6'4", 220 at the quarterback position for the Richmond Spiders. Feels the pressure. Udinsky is going down. Aaron Famui and a loss of 3 yards. The Virginia defense stepping up.
Yeah, some depth on this defensive front for a change here. And there's Aaron Famui. But it was a wave of orange that was right there in the face of Udinsky, and he stuttered there for a second. And once you do that, it's over with. You got to either tuck it and go or get rid of that football. Now they got their ears pinned back, and another big third down. They already got 1 3 and out. Let's see if they can do 2 in a row here for Coach Rudd.
Udinsky looking left, eludes the pressure for the moment and throws on the run right near the 32nd effort by Williams. And Williams right near the marker and a first down. So they convert on 3rd down for the Spiders and move the chains, and they got 9.
Great job by Josiah Williams as they go hurry up here now, trying to get a few guys on. Because when he initially caught this football, he ran this route a little bit short of the sticks, but had to fight and scrap to get that extra yard. Fresh set of downs now for Udinsky, and showing you that, you know, he's not the Brennan Armstrong that's going to be able to tuck it and beat you with his legs, but just enough there to buy some time and find his guy.
He did throw for almost 8,000 yards in his years at VMI, and that pass is on target to Leroy Henley, the graduate student. They got 5 on the toss.
Henley, a Deerfield Beach guy down in South Florida, started his college ball at ECU.
This Virginia defense as a unit, James, struggled last year. Total D, they gave up 466 yards per game. That was 13th in the ACC.
Well, and I think early on they've been playing like it, meaning they're playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. You just got to keep it up and be consistent, and this isn't good right here.
That's Dykes, first down and more. And he was wide open, and Udinsky with the presence of mind to hit him for 9 yards as Anthony Johnson made the play for Virginia. That's a first down.
Yeah, Dykes out of the backfield with those hands. And look at this hurry up right over the ball. Everybody set. And they keep it going.
Henley makes the catch right near midfield. Anthony Johnson defending, 4 yards on the play.
You know, and so here are some of these unknowns. Billy Kosh at VMI is the offensive coordinator for Richmond the last couple seasons. What are you going to get from him? Virginia defense. Are they going to go hurry up? When they get a first down, what are they going to do? You can go back and look at those VMI tapes. It doesn't do you a whole lot of good to watch what Richmond did offensively last year, but there's still all the unknowns and adjustments as we go throughout this game. Really in every single phase with all of the new minds, all the new bodies out there playing and coaching. Adjustments will be key.
Oh, that's on target as well, James. Jacob Harris, first down, Richmond. They are rolling. Bratton had to make the play defensively for Virginia. 10 yards and a first down. They'll go to the ground. There's room up the middle. Blasting his way is Aaron Dykes. And he's right near the 20 as Clary made the tackle.
Wow, and just, you know, I like the discipline. Richmond is back. They're set. They're ready to snap it again. They go to the ground. Catch him slipping a little bit in the middle, and a nice pickup for Dykes, the captain at running back, senior from Knoxville, right up the gut after the nice completion to Harris. An impressive drive being put together by Udinski and his offense right now. You know, and you only get 2 scrimmages in college football now. So the tempo, you can try to mimic it in practice all you want. But once it's a real deal on opening day on Saturday, it's a different speed, so you've got guys gassed.
That's Smith downshifting inside the 10. Richmond on the move. That's another first down, first and goal for the Spiders, and we're inside of 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. They get 9 on the run, James.
Look at the job that the offensive line is doing as well there for Richmond.
Richmond in the red zone. It's brought to you by CPI Security inside the Virginia 10. First down for the Spiders. Second possession of the game up the middle and into the end zone untouched. It's Savon Smith for Richmond. James, it's 8 yards to cap off the drive. Savon Smith, the junior from Winchester, Virginia, to the house for the Spiders. Jake Larson for the extra point.
Huseman's got to be fired up. That offensive line opening up some holes, and a defense for Virginia looking a little bit gassed, down 7 early.
What's your favorite live event? A rockin' concert?
Ford dealer. The Works Nitro. Available at worksnitro.com. And Wrangler. For the ride of life.
Well, Cavalier fans aren't going to like this, but back in 2016, this Richmond program rolled into Scott Stadium and won 37-20. That was the first game of the season. It's also their last win against an ACC opponent. They played Virginia Tech last year, and Udinski was on target for that drive. James, he was 6 for 6, and they go 80 yards to the end zone.
Well, and it was nice with the balance as well. Hit them with a big pass, get them on their heels, and then the discipline to set up, everybody be clean, get that snap off and run it.
Hollins. Cartwheels at the 25-yard line. Bryson Parker, special teams play for Richmond, the return of 30 yards. All right, James Bates, it's time for our Ford keys to the game. Virginia and Richmond to open up the season.
All right, for those Richmond Spiders, I think it's all about the interior. Those lines lining it up. And the offensive line certainly did their job on that opening or that touchdown drive on the second series. For Virginia, it's win that effort battle. when you get down to that fourth quarter, you've got a little bit more depth. You've got some big players. There's a flag. But you want the utmost effort from your guys if you're Tony Elliott.
First down.
Adam Savoy is our referee today. Tony Elliott, first-year head coach. After all that success with the Clemson Tigers, offensive coordinator from 2015 to 2020. A couple of national titles. Des Kitchings, the new offensive coordinator. We'll see what he dials up for this series. That is Wicks, a popular target. He's wrestled out of bounds by Angelo Rankin Jr.
I think that's 3 for 3. 3's the magic number, and probably a face mask the way that flag came. Yeah.
So we'll tack that onto a 9-yard gain of the pass play.
See, and those are the things right there that you absolutely can't have. You got it, you know, a couple of the things, it was funny talking to Coach Huseman. He said, we're going to have a couple guys jump off sides. I guarantee you that. They've done it so much in camp. They're all new. But you got to be careful with those to give them free first downs and hurt you.
Armstrong over the middle. It's complete. Lavelle Davis Jr. breaks away, and he goes the distance. Touchdown, Wahoos!
Look at that emotion, and justifiably so for number 1. Running right through a tackle. You got to keep your heads up as a safety, and you got to keep the cap on with all this speed on the outside. Welcome back, Lavelle Davis. The huge year in 2020, injured and missed all of last year. I'd say number 1 is back here for the Hoos. Averaged 25, almost 26 yards a catch in 2020. This starts a nice average for 2022. The lefty fired up about it. Brennan Armstrong and company tying it up here in Charlottesville. We'll be right back.
For the Cavaliers to respond. 2 plays, 75 yards, 56 yards on the touchdown grab by Lavelle Davis Jr. He is our Hardy star-to-watch.
Yeah, the junior from Dorchester, South Carolina. Speedy and rangy, and oh, by the way, he's 6'7", 220 pounds. I mean, and again, you know, you throw him up next to Wicks, Keaton Thompson, who we haven't heard from yet today. Brennan Armstrong, I'm sure he'll get the rock to him a few times, and Billy Kemp. Called Billy Kemp's name on a punt return. That he's out there as the punt returner. There's Dykes, who had a nice big run on that last drive for his Spiders to return the kick here as it's tied 7-7 now.
Lavelle Davis 2 seasons ago had 5 touchdown receptions, and Brennan Armstrong just threw his 52nd career touchdown pass. He needs 5 TD passes to pass Matt Schaub as the all-time leader here at Virginia. There will be no return. 56 big yards to the big target, James Bates.
Well, big target, you're right. And because he's so big, there he is, Lavelle Davis. He is going to have his fair share of catches, even if you're right there in the hip pocket. You know, he gets the corner, gets the safety rather turned around, but he's still in decent position in the safety on top. Aaron Banks comes over. He's got to keep his head up, and he has got to keep this offensive player in front of him. You've got to keep these weapons in front of you. Yeah, you can give up a play. You can bleed a little bit, but you can't give up the big one. Let him go for the jugular, and you fall down like that, and you hurt your team.
Right up the middle again, it's Smith. And the Spiders are having success running the ball right down the middle of the field. They got 17.
And this is a little bit of a surprise because, yeah, this was a team that struggled defensively last year as they quickly get this snap off and get up about 4 or 5 yards. But defensively, ad nauseum in the offseason, people have talked about how much Virginia struggled on the defensive side, but they fixed that. They fixed it. Well, we know they've got Nick Jackson and some good linebackers, but now they brought in 4 grad transfers, so they've got some depth. But it's not showing right now. They don't look like it's a fresh body and a hungry unit up there against these couple of these runs. That's better.
They'll stop Smith this time. James, you mentioned the rush defense from a season ago for Virginia. They averaged giving up 226 yards per game. That was last in the conference and 123rd in the football bowl subdivision. There was no gain on the play. It is 3rd down.
And John Brzezinski, defensive coordinator the last couple seasons at the Air Force Academy. They know how to tackle out there in Colorado Springs. Let's see if they can get off the field here.
Deep pass. Too far for the intended receiver. Jacob Harris. Antonio Clary back in coverage. It's 4th down for the Spiders.
Budinsky doesn't like it, threw it out of bounds. The receiver needs to line up with a little bit of padding there on that sideline. You know, and even with Clary right there stride for stride, give yourself a little bit of breathing room, and that quarterback a little bit of space where he can drop it in there where only the receiver can get it. Nice job by the defense to get off the field here and force a punt.
Trussler to punt. Kemp wants the fair catch at the 16. And he made it successfully. 38 yards on the punt by Trussler. And now time for a message from Green Machine.
With our 62-volt battery-powered blower in your hands, you are a machine. So power the machine with Green Machine. Available online at HomeDepot.com.
Brennan Armstrong is a machine. 7-7. Last time he threw that football, 56 yards to Lavelle Davis Jr. for the TD. Hollins is the running back. Gets the call. No gain for the junior from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Ray Eldridge in on the play for Richmond.
Yeah, Mike Hollins, number 2 on that first depth chart for Tony Elliott, behind Paris Jones. A little bit of a surprise maybe to some people. Jones just 180, but he makes up for that lack of size maybe and toughness, and he really earned in a good battle at running back that spot, but we'll see quite a bit of both of them.
Armstrong fenced in for the moment. Eludes the defenders to the near side. Fancy footwork from Brennan Armstrong.
Justin Wood, the defensive coordinator for Richmond, said, you know, we were a little bit worried we weren't thudding up these quarterbacks enough because the quarterbacks in practice are wearing the red jerseys, right? So they kind of started hitting the quarterbacks a little bit more, and that wasn't about missed tackles. That was just all Brennan Armstrong being a smart football player.
That was 10 yards and a first down. This is also going to be a first down. And Davis adjusting to the football with Tyreek Funderburk all over him. 12 yards on the play for Virginia.
Yeah, you're right, Tom. All over him. Number 2 is just, he's draped on him. Now, you can't cover him any better than that. But Tyreek is 6 foot 185 going up against the big man.
Hollins got 1.
Here's a look at defensive coordinator Justin Wood over there. Talked to him on the phone, good talk with him, and you know, we talked about eliminating those big plays. That was the first thing I think out of his mouth on our call. Big plays. We've got to eliminate them, and we've got to get these guys on the ground. Just make them earn it. You make them earn it, and all these ball players driving up and down the field, that's when mistakes come.
They've already given up one big play, the 56-yard TD pass. Armstrong tried to run it, got nothing, ran into Xander Barnett. He's a sophomore from Milton, Georgia, making the play, and it's 3rd down for Virginia. 3rd and long here for the Cavaliers. They were second in the conference a season ago, James, 46% on 3rd down as they went 6-6, 4-4 in conference play, and they were 4-3 during the season here at Scott Stadium.
Backers walked up, showing blitz. We got to put a little bit of pressure on Armstrong here.
Over the middle, it's complete. Thompson. First down, Virginia, and 14 yards, Keaton Thompson.
Well, you don't go to 6'7" this time. It's just 6'5". And breaking that route off for his first catch, Keaton Thompson, just right at the line. Knowing where you are on the football field, where do I have to go to get a first down? Move those chains.
Thompson had 78 catches a season ago. Davis was the target this time.
Personal foul, hands to the face, offense number 68, 15-yard penalty, replay first down. Number 44 may remain in the game because his helmet came off due to foul.
Wow, that's a big one. Just when you start rolling a little bit, Logan Taylor, he moved over there to that right tackle position, and because you've got a lefty quarterback, it's right on the edge, on the far edge right there. There you see the helmet that's ripped off of the defender. He'll be able to stay in. And that hurts you right there. You've got a first down in forever, backing your way up inside your own 40-yard line. Still first down, though.
From the 39. Armstrong slings it. Incomplete, looking for Wicks. Appeared to be well defended by Funderburk, the senior from Indian Trail, North Carolina, defending Wicks.
Nice job by Tyreek there. You know, on the two big plays, the third down conversion where you've got him third down and long, and of course the touchdown to Lavelle Davis, you've had bodies on the ground defensively. You can't make plays, you can't play football on the ground. They've got to keep their feet if they want to keep these speedsters in front of them.
Cavaliers have won 21 of the last 26 season openers. That's a catch. Wentz made the grab. There is a flag far side of the field. Funderburk in on the play. Let's check the marker.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 16, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, Amir Hall is going to get called for this face mask. He trying to hand fight a little bit there. And I mean, you got to be aggressive, but you also have to be smart. That's the second face mask penalty on Coach Huseman's team, and very costly. You had a second down and 25. It was a third down and 25 about that was coming up. Instead, fresh set of downs for Armstrong.
Armstrong has the time, and that passed through the hands of the intended receiver, Grant Mish, the tight end. And the senior from Sterling, Virginia, could not look that one in from Armstrong.
Big man knows you got to have this catch. It doesn't get any easier than that. And the thing is, you know, they're trying to spread the love a little bit right here. Des Kitchings is hey, you want that rock. When you finally get a chance, you better take advantage of it and catch that ball, tuck it and go. Maybe trying to go a little bit too early. There's motion.
He had that dramatic TD grab late in the game against Louisville. Paris Jones, he's got a first down inside the 30 and down to the 27-yard line. Jared Joseph had to make the tackle. 14 yards for Paris Jones.
Nice little run, low to the ground. Look at him hide behind those big bodies and then come firing out of there in open field, making a guy miss, diving forward, and that's the kind of effort, again, right here. Look at him take the big guys. He's only 180 pounds. He's carrying the pile an extra 3 yards, Tom, and that is what won him this running back job, the starting job. He took advantage of an opportunity, and it was all about that want-to and that fight. He's not supposed to do that to those big guys.
Dragging him for 5 yards. 5'7", 180 pounds, and a senior. Back to the air in the throw game, and this one incomplete. Keaton Thompson was out there, defended by Bryson Parker.
Justin Wood was hot over there yelling at somebody. Maybe he got away, dodged a bit of a bullet because he was upset. I don't know if it's personnel or what it was, but they forced another third down situation here. Third and medium. Tough one to call up right here with the big bodies you've got in the back that's running pretty hard.
6 for 9 through the air so far for Armstrong, including the touchdown pass. That's Wicks. That was on the shoe tops. He made the catch near the 15, and that's going to be good enough for a first down as he beat Angelo Rankin in that Spider secondary.
Tom, we've seen number 3 make some incredible plays over the years here for UVA. But it doesn't really get any better than that. That's not going to make a ton of highlight reels. Look at this.
Jones diving for the goal line, and he's in for the touchdown.
Look at the way the offensive line really doing a great job of blowing that defensive front off the ball, and then just so quick and so decisive. Paris Jones with the great vision lets that flow go and finds that gap and sees the paint and dives in for his first touchdown of the year.
So the officials are going to take a look at it. Bob Welch is our replay official. The diving attempt from Paris Jones, if it stands, it's going to be a 15-yard touchdown run.
It absolutely will. The little big man going airborne. That ball, that was a little bit of an awkward angle to see it, but the ball definitely on that other one crossed the plane before that elbow went down. And sorry to talk into this play. I'm just excited to call the ball again, but I've done it a couple times today. But that catch by Wicks, Tom, I mean, that's impressive. And there are so many things that he does. Dontavion Wicks, for this offense, being a leader, and that was an incredible catch to set it all up.
And it will stand as a touchdown for Paris Jones, the senior from Alexandria, Virginia. Farrell for the extra point. 14-7 Cavaliers. And for more, the guy who just took it into the end zone, down to Lindsay.
Yeah, Tom, I spoke with Paris Jones earlier this week, and he said he was really excited for this year. He knew Coach Elliott was going to have an emphasis on the running game. He said throughout preseason, he really tried to focus on knowing the playbook. He also said he thinks the biggest difference this year will be his comfort level. Now, guys, as Paris came off the field, the very first person to greet him here on the Virginia sideline was head coach Tony Elliott. He gave him a big chest bump and then went their separate ways. So a lot of excitement down here on the sideline.
As there should be, Lindsay. This is what they were talking about all of camp. You know, you're going to try to get lathered up and figure out how it's going to go on game day. And it was an impressive drive by Richmond that the defense gave up early. But right now, all the juice in the house belongs with Tony Elliott's Virginia Cavaliers, and thanks in large part to Paris Jones.
Dykes and Smith are deep for the Spiders. Trailing 14-7. No return on this one. So James, Virginia got knocked on its heels a little bit, but they've responded in the latter stages of this first quarter.
Yeah, and it's a lot of football to be played as we tick down. One more play here, one more snap before we head to the second quarter. Well, that's the thing, is to be able to be consistent. And Virginia defensive front starting to talk about depth. Depth will come in the third and fourth quarters on this hot day as well.
That'll be the last play of the first quarter. A couple of yards for the Spiders. Who got on the board first, but the Cavaliers came back with 2 TDs in the quarter, James.
Look at him go, the big man. You think Lavelle Davis is excited to be back in a Wahoo uniform? And look at the little big man, Paris Jones, making it 14-7 as we head to the second. Along the way in the first quarter, but the one category that you don't see up there, turnovers. Both head coaches want to make sure they keep it that way. 0 for each side for the next 3 quarters.
Udinski hands it off up the middle to Dykes. So Savon Smith had the TD rush for Richmond in the first quarter, and the Virginia TDs, Lavelle Davis, had the 56-yard catch. And Paris Jones, that rush was his first rushing TD of his career for the senior from Alexandria, Virginia. He'd only had 3 carries prior to that to start this game today.
Talking to Cav fans, they'll tell you they only had 3 carries all last year.
Knocked to the turf, incomplete. He was looking for Williams. Fentrell Cypress on the play.
And Cypress knows this is a heady defensive player. Where are they trying to get? We talked about it earlier, running those routes. Keaton Thompson breaking his route out off offensively at the yardage needed for a first down. Well, defensively as well, being a heady football player. Where are they trying to break those routes off? Cypress knew exactly where, and he breaks it up. Defense off the field again.
Trussler had to field that on the short hop. Did well to do so. Kemp backpedaling, fields it, and he gets driven back inside the 20. So Aaron Trussler, the punter for Richmond, caught it on the short hop. The punt was 44 yards. And Sigler made the play on special teams for Richmond.
This puts the surf and turf savings at the Fresh Market. Enjoy wild North Atlantic lobster tails for only $9.99 each all weekend and bring on the flavor. Catch this deal and more in your neighborhood store or shop online for curbside pickup or delivery.
Get going. Get after it. Get momentum. Then get more of it. Wherever potential leads you next, get there with a bank you trust.
When you need daily sports gambling talk, Daddy gotta.
Course last night here in Charlottesville, paint the town orange in anticipation of the opener. Tony Elliott addressing the assembled fans on the eve of his first game as the head coach of the Virginia Cavaliers here on the grounds. And what a day it's been as Brennan Armstrong creeps closer to Sean Moore and Bryce Perkins, who did that in 2 seasons, James.
Yeah, Brennan Armstrong waiting his turn early in his career after leaving Shelby, Ohio, Shelby High School to come play for the Cavaliers. Backing up Perkins. And ever since it's been number 5 show, it's been a fun one to watch. And here, you know, a lot of these opponents, and Richmond included, thinking, hoping he might go ahead and go on to the NFL. Back for his 5th year, though. 3rd year as a starter. There he is under center, which you haven't seen a whole lot of.
He may catch Perkins today for that total offense. This is a rush from Jones, who took it into the end zone from 15 yards out in the first quarter and got 9 on this run. Wheeler on the tackle, Richmond.
You know, and the healthy competition that is being built right here. You gotta love it. I love it especially at the running back spot. You know, Mike Hollins, he probably thought this was going to be his job. Paris Jones won it during 2-a-days with this new staff. But you're going to see some Mike Hollins, and you're going to see some extra hunger, some extra fight perhaps out of him when he gets his hands on the rock. They'll move the chains here.
Last year, Wayne Taulapapa was the leading rusher for the Cavaliers with 324 yards. And right behind him was Armstrong with 251 yards rushing. And he also had 9 TD runs. That's a first down for Virginia.
I also like Des Kitchings leaving number 2 out there for a little bit. You know, one thing that Dabo always says, Tony Elliott says, you know, he's going to go under the same mantra, is let the horses run. Well, number 2, the horse is running so far on this one.
Number 5 is throwing it deep and looking for Wicks and off target. Funderburg back in coverage. Sigler also back there.
Nice job doubling up by both Sigler and Funderburg. Good coverage. Nowhere to go but the grass for Brennan Armstrong. So a 2nd down and 10. You get him in these 2nd and long situations. Not only do you have to play clean defensively, take good angles, techniques, but be careful of those penalties here in these situations.
That is a perfect natural grass surface for these players. There's Armstrong on the run, accelerates away, down the sideline, touchdown, Virginia!
Well, the ball player pulls it. He sees them crash down on number 2, and justifiably so. Number 2's hurting you right now. Defensively, hey, I'm going to help out a little bit. We got to stop this Paris Jones attack. Brennan Armstrong pulls that ball, and it's off to the races.
That was off the upright, but good by Farrell for the extra point. And that one went for 64 yards on the run by Armstrong.
Tony Elliott says, let the horses run. He's got a pretty good one in the orange colors, wearing number 5 at the quarterback position in Brennan Armstrong. Yeah! Number 5, giddy up. It's 21-7. Who's?
My goodness! What a machine!
Look out. As
Brennan Armstrong with the rushing touchdown, the 15th of his career. He went 64 yards, and just a moment ago we showed you that graphic. He was chasing down Bryce Perkins. Well, he did it on that run, James. All time in Virginia history, the leader in career total offense, Brennan Armstrong.
Wow. Congratulations, Brennan Armstrong. And talking with these coaches yesterday, Des Kitching said he got his hands on some tape or film, whatever they call it now, of that guy when he was in high school back in Shelby, Ohio. He said even as a freshman in high school, he was just doing what he does now, just a ball player and a leader. The first guy that Tony Elliott, first player that he ever met when he came to Charlottesville. There's Des Kitching, the offensive coordinator up there in the booth for Virginia, calling a pretty good first half so far. But Tony Elliott, he still hadn't officially been offered the job. He came in, he was looking at the facilities, and who was in that quarterback room? None other than Brennan Armstrong in the offseason, watching that tape and getting better.
And then about an hour later, he accepted the job from athletic director Carla Williams. He got his first chance to be the head coach after such success in Clemson, South Carolina. You know, it's interesting. Des Kitching said to us, James, he says, I'm an FCS guy. He played at Furman, was an all-conference wide receiver, but he's got experience on so many different levels. Assistant at NC State, and he was also last year with the Atlanta Falcons as their running backs coach. So he's got a wealth of experience that he brings to the table for Tony Elliott as the offensive coordinator. And Tony Elliott told us, James, I got so much to worry about. Des needs to take care of the offense.
Yeah, he broke it down for us. Said he had to throw that planner out the window because you make no plans as a head coach. And you know, it was interesting too. He said, you know what? Dabo Swinney is insistent that everybody's on time. Everybody's on time. But he realized as time went on that Dabo always got there right on time. He never really got there early. And he said, I realize now why.
Just
because
like you.
You'll sit there
when we get to the booth.
But he got there because you sit there and you get frustrated that just worrying about everything and everybody not doing it right, or that guy's not wearing the right thing. So you show up right on time on game day. You just go play ball and don't worry about all the other stuff.
Smith had the carry for Richmond. Modest gain of 2 yards.
A couple plays ago, nice completion there. Udinsky to Harris. So a much needed little bit of momentum here for number 2 in the Spider offense here.
Dump off. Smith. 45-yard line and beyond it. 8 yards. And that is good enough to move the sticks.
Very calm in the pocket. Nice job of eventually breaking down there that offensive line. And Reese doesn't panic. Dumps it off. Get a couple more yards than he would have gotten.
Smith for 3 yards. That's an experienced coach across the way as well. 6th year for Russ Huseman. He was the defensive coordinator at Richmond from 04 to 08 and part of that national championship team. And 08 for Richmond and 3 trips to the FCS playoffs. He did great things at Chattanooga as well in the Southern Conference. 3 straight years they were first in the SoCon from 2013 to 2015 under Coach Huseman.
Huseman, before playing his college ball in Chattanooga, he went to one of the great high school programs in the nation, Cincinnati Moeller. Talking with him, wondering why he didn't have many Ohio guys on the roster. He said, you know, you got to pick and choose. We go back to the volunteer state quite a bit, though. Let's see where they go. Billy Kosh, first-year offensive coordinator now with a big 3rd down and long.
Just 1 for 4 on 3rd down of the game for the Spiders. Udinsky Has to dance away from the pocket. Pursued and throwing incomplete. Inside the 35-yard line, Josiah Williams on the business end. 17 yards, Spiders.
Well, expect a big year from Josiah Williams is what the coaches told us on the phone call, and they'll go quick with the snap and pick up a nice 4 or 5 yards. And that has really worked well for Richmond here so far today. You pick up a first down, you better expect it. And again, we talked about adjustments. This is one thing that's going to have to be stopped. Just because they get a first down doesn't mean they automatically get 6 on the first down.
Back to the ground again. Not quite as successful this time for Dykes. Only 2.
Nice job, though, a couple plays ago just to finish up. Josiah Williams, a local kid, just a sophomore. Setting up shop right there, the chains. Get that first down, and here's another third down. This one a little bit shorter, and quite possibly, even though you've got some experience at kicker, maybe it's a 4-down type situation.
Udinsky trying to create out of that pocket and incomplete. Through the hands of Harris. Jonas Sanker defensively for Virginia, and it's 4th down Richmond.
Good job by Sanker. He's asked to hang on for a long time, and the ball thrown a little bit too hard. Udinsky, who is calm in that pocket that time, had to get rid of it so quick. Throws a fastball, and Harris unable to hang on to it.
Jake Larson attempting a 45-yard field goal for Richmond. The junior from Baltimore, Maryland, and he bashes it through. 45 big yards and 3 points for the Spiders.
45 yards out, no problem. Jacob Larson says, "Good morning, Baltimore."
Chevy here on the grounds, and the Cavaliers with a 21-10 advantage over Richmond, which just kicked a 45-yard field goal to close the gap. After Richmond scored first, 3 straight TDs by Virginia. Jones and Kemp. It's going to be Hollins. Hollins with a seam past the 30. So a quality return from Hollins, and he's still running.
Well, there's the hunger.
26 yards.
There.
26 on the return. Here's our Discover the Best, brought to you by the Fresh Market of the Receiving Corps for Virginia.
Yeah, pick your poison. We've seen all of these guys involved already, and keep them healthy and get ready to watch those horses run here in 2022. Wicks started off with the first 3 catches today. We say Dontavian Wicks, when it comes to pro prospects, maybe the best, but shoot, I'm sure there are NFL teams that would like to have every one of those guys.
Kemp. That should be a pass play. It was tossed forward by Armstrong, and Kemp for a first down past the 40-yard line got 10.
Yeah, you got to get creative with Kemp and get him the ball. Not only is he a great guy to go to on those 3rd down and medium type passes, running those sharp routes.
Jones couldn't quite get to midfield.
They didn't blow the whistle.
No, this still going. He's got midfield and more. One of his teammates grabbed him, said, "Let's keep the play going."
Yeah, there was no whistle. I think Jones even thought he was done. You got to keep playing until you hear that whistle, and therein lies the rub, because a guy comes and takes a shot, he's going to get a flag. Great job, Lavelle Davis. Hey, keep it going, buddy. I didn't hear a whistle.
17 yards on that play. Jones submarining his way for a couple near the 40. Jones has the TD run, 15 yards in the first quarter, first of his career. Looked like Devine was shaken up on the play just a little bit. The senior from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, on the offensive line in front of Brennan Armstrong, who, if you're just joining us, broke the school record for total offense, passing Bryce Perkins. Armstrong with a vision. He'll use the feet. First down and more, cut it to 30 and down to the 25-yard line. O'Connor made the tackle of Armstrong. He got 14.
Nice job, hustle to run him down from behind by O'Connor. But watch Lavelle Davis right here, right now, blocking down the field. He's the one that makes that first down happen. Armstrong tucking it and going, getting everything he can. Nice chunk of change. But Lavelle Davis continuing to scrap. We saw him pick up Paris Jones, keep him going on the last play. That time he's blocking.
Over the middle, that ball popped in the air and then hit the turf. Wicks, intended target. Parker defending. That's number 4, the sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina. Virginia's been strong at home, James, over the last 4 seasons. 16-4 for the Cavaliers. And they've won 21 of their last 24 home games. But this one is the very first game on the sideline for Tony Elliott. You always remember that first time up and down the sidelines in the sunshine of Charlottesville. Wicks, a difficult grab off the shoelaces.
That's the second one here today he's had to go down and get. And, you know, it just shows the flexibility and the concentration, the hands of Dontavion Wicks. I was a little bit disappointed I didn't run into his mom and the rest of his family here before this game. Last couple of times we've come up here, they come up from Louisiana, and you talk about some energy. Yeah, they say that Wicks has started talking finally a little bit more as a leader there on the field and in the meeting rooms. He gets it from his mom. His mom is, she has got some great energy, some great juice.
Armstrong sidesteps one man, tries to get to the boundary. Cut down by Bryson Parker. Quality open field tackle from number 4.
Parker's having a nice first half here and a good job in space. This guy is not easy to bring down. There is a flag down, looks like.
Holding, defense number 16. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's Huseman asking where it was, and Hall as well. That's 2 costly penalties on a guy that they really count on. Freshman All-American last year, Amir Hall. And he got him in a 3rd down. Now it's just a fresh set of downs inside the 20.
Hollins. Wayne Galloway on the tackle. 5 yards for Hollins to the right side, just inside the 10.
You know, you're going to give yourself a chance, and those are the little things. You know, a team from the CAA coming up, driving the hour to play against an ACC team. You got to hold on to the football, which they've done, but you've got to play clean ball and can't help them with penalties.
Down to the 5 for Hollins, who had a couple of TD runs last season. He got 4. Tristan Wheeler has his 8th tackle of the game. Red zone for Virginia a season ago was 8th in the conference with the 38 touchdowns. 85% scoring in total in the red zone.
Hollins tapped his hat, took himself out right there. Something wrong with his helmet maybe, or his head. Here comes Jones.
Jones hops over the 5. That's good enough for a first down at the 3. So first and goal. Paris Jones has a touchdown run, first of his career. That was in the first quarter.
Talk about meshing these 2 styles of offense. You mentioned it earlier, Tom, how Tony Elliott stepping aside with the play calling. Des Kitchings coming in. You've got a mix of zone schemes, that power run game, and 2 guys, 2 good offensive minds coming together here. Nice play defensively. Penetration.
Jeremiah Grant, number 44, knocked Paris Jones to the ground. No gain on the play. Second and goal, Virginia.
That's one thing that can, no matter what style and who's calling the ball plays, penetration can mess up any rhythm on offense. But it's just second down and goal right now for the Hoos.
Hollins, the running back, toward the goal line. That ball popped out and bounced around in the end zone. There was no touchdown signal from any of the officials, and the ball was bouncing around in the end zone as Hollins had eyes for the goal line. We'll have to take a closer look at this one, James.
He got his own fumble. Hollins is going to come up with it and saving the day. Mike Hollins. Well, I felt for him. The guy, you know, he finally gets in. We talked about him sitting on that sideline watching Paris Jones, the Paris Jones show. He's got to be hungry. And that's definitely a fumble. And oh, did it go off the official?
It certainly did.
Wow.
To the benefit of Hollins. But I don't know how he was able to cover this other than the fact that it hits the official and then he dives for it and wrestles it away from Wheeler. Yeah, and that's, you know, those are two pretty strong guys going at it, and you got to use that body and turn that body in too. But that is 100% Richmond's football if it doesn't hit the shin of the official, you know, and that's just part of the playing field, and it's nothing against the official, but just the luck of the Who's and the luck of Mike Hollins too, out there trying to do a little bit of his own damage on the ground for Tony Elliott as they continue to try to impress these new coaches coming out of training camp, out of two-a-days. Jones already with a good first half, and I mean this ball's out. There's no doubt about that. And then you see hitting the. I mean, give Hollins credit. He had his back to the football, rolling around in the end zone, and then the presence of mind to try to fall on that. Maybe a lucky break as well as it bounced off the official. And the play is currently under review. Ruled a touchdown on the field. If it stands, it's a 3-yard run for Hollins. And a touchdown, Virginia. What a crazy little play at the goal line. Looked like Hollins was just going to crash his way into the end zone.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
What do you think there, Bates?
Well, I think, truthfully, just on the human side, I feel good for Mike Hollins because, you know, I'm seriously just putting myself in his shoes. You know, that battle, I know how it can be. And seeing Paris Jones run wild, and had you fumbled that one away and Richmond falls on it, that can't feel very good. So good for him, but a tough break for the Richmond Spiders. Looked almost like they were going to dodge it and get the ball back in the end zone. Instead, it's 28-10 after the extra point. 18-point lead with 4:10 left in the half.
C-Max presents
the paint to make it 28-10. The Cavs on top of the Richmond Spiders here on opening day. First one out for Tony Elliott. And our 5-star drive summary brought to you by Yellowwood. Shoot, believe me, you don't want it. Doesn't have that yellow tag. That's the way the head ball coach used to do those commercials.
I missed
Tony
that.
Elliott, he knows about the head ball coach. At Clemson, they played against South Carolina quite a bit in that drive there, the Yellowwood drive. 12 plays, 69 yards, made up 5:26 on that clock. 4:10 left here in the first half, and Coach Huseman and those Spiders hoping to put together a nice little drive of their own and cut into that lead at halftime.
I think they're living on a prayer here at Scott Stadium, James. Rocking. 28-10 lead late in the second.
I got a couple Gainesville kids out there somewhere. Got Katie Cronin, there was a swimmer here. Tommy Huber just left town. Greer Mathias and Ander Kelly. Got the whole Jacksonville, Gainesville well represented here in Charlottesville.
Farrell to kick it off, the senior from Dunwoody, Georgia. We've got Dykes and Smith, the deep men for the Spiders. Dykes thinking about a return, not this time. He'll stay at home. 4:10 on the game clock as we play late in the second quarter. I will say, James, the Spiders provided a nice wake-up call for Virginia right away and took the 7-0 lead. The rushing TD from Savon Smith from 8 yards out of the first quarter. It's been all Virginia since. Armstrong has a passing and rushing TD. Udinsky, quarterback for the Spiders, 10 of 15 and 17 yards so far. Up the middle. They've had success there. Smith again with the run, and that's a first down for Richmond.
Again, a nice job by that offensive line. Elia in the middle. Cole in there. Big Gabe, Cade Salyers.
Smith tries another avenue around the edge up near midfield. Antonio Clary, the tackle, near the sideline in front of that Richmond bench. 9 yards on the run, Smith.
Got to mention over on that right side there, that tackle Joe Moore making his 27th start, 18th straight start for the Spiders here today. So an offensive line has held their own. Going to try to punch it in here on this, what might be last chance before halftime.
Williams on the big pop. Like Sanker there, number 20, Jonas Sanker delivering the shot.
Does a fantastic job of avoiding that hat as well. No targeting there, but one heck of a hit. Great angle, and he brought the wood. Damage is done, though, as those chains will move. But impressive tackle there by Sanker. Not to get anywhere near that targeting type call.
This is going to be a loss on the play for Smith. Famui made the tackle, loss of 1 as we check in with Lindsay.
Hey guys, I spoke with a bunch of the Richmond guys earlier this week, and the consensus on quarterback Reese Udinsky is they've never worked with a quarterback who was more calm, cool, and collected. Running back Aaron Dykes told me that as level-headed as he is, it's contagious, and Reese even helps him to be composed when the pressure's on. Jacob Harris said it's amazing, even after a mistake, he's able to keep a poised demeanor. I spoke with Reese, and he said, sometimes coaches want me to talk more, but that's just not me, which is great because Coach Billy Koch says he doesn't want him to be anybody else but himself. Guys?
Absolutely, Lindsay, and they want him to talk a little bit more sometimes. Sometimes he's a little bit too quiet, but he leads by example with his toughness, they say. That ball thrown a little bit behind his intended target. So instead of maybe a couple more yards and a third down and short, it's a third down and a long 5. 2 of 6, the Spiders on third down.
They're going to throw it. Complete, appears to be short of the line to gain to Henley. They got 4 yards on the pass play. That is going to be short by 1.5 yards. They needed the 32.
Right back over that ball. Looks like they'll go for it here on 4th down. Don't give them a freebie up front, reminding each other. There you see Faumui, Carter up there talking to each other. 4th down coming up.
They were 5 of 13 on 4th down a season ago. They need about 2 yards. Udinsky floats it. Sideline. Incomplete. And a clean play. Looking for Henley. So they needed 2 yards and decided to go down the sideline and float one. And Cypress was back there for Virginia.
Cypress has been impressive here, and maybe got away with one right there. The receiver's got to be able to come back and make an effort at that, but he was right there with him stride for stride. It's interesting watching that sideline after a turnover on downs. Tony Elliott, one thing he said to us yesterday, and Huseman, hoping that he would have gotten a flag right there, but he said, I'm watching them, the little things. How do they come on and off the field? They were trying, hey, you guys you flipped it over. You gave us the ball back. Get excited. Have some fun. Celebrate a little bit here.
Jones on the run near the 40. They'll mark him at the 39 after 5 yards for Paris Jones. Clock is ticking, James. Down to about a minute to play here in the half.
Well, on the ground, all 3 timeouts left, and valuable. These opportunities in live action, a 2-minute offense, and to the ground again they go. Let's see if they use the timeout here, as they didn't make the first down.
Jones got 4, broke a tackle on the way to about the 43.5.
Yeah, they're just
right near the 43. Clock is moving.
This is Virginia has had the upper hand in this first half, but by no means is this football game over. Just kind of Interesting that they would choose to just kind of chip away and let that clock run down. Maybe leave some points on the board. Now we're under 20, and they may go to the locker room with all 3 timeouts still in their back pocket.
Armstrong looking and throwing. Incomplete. Davis in between 2 defenders. Angelo Rankin was back there for the Spiders. That'll stop the clock with 8 seconds to play, and the headset is off. So maybe this is just a snap to end the half, James.
Well, nice job by Rankin. And, you know, and a good job. There's the pressure. What may have caused that ball to be thrown off target a little bit, because you put that ball up there where only big number 1 can go get it. And that's some trouble for a defense. We've already seen that here today. Nice job to put the pressure on them. So only 8 seconds left now, and still 3 timeouts for Virginia.
Marlon Lewis had the hit on the previous play for the Spiders. They'll run it up the middle. That's going to run out the clock. Coach Elliott says, let's get to the locker room. 28-10. 2 big plays. Armstrong hit Davis in the first quarter for 56 yards and a TD pass, and Armstrong also had a 64-yard TD run. Richmond scored the first points of the game. Virginia came back to control the flow of play for most of the remaining time in the first half. Richmond added a field goal as well. And they will have the ball to start the second half. So Tony Elliott's first couple of quarters as the head coach. Productive. They have the lead, but as James said, this one's far from over as Coach Elliott runs over to Lindsay.
Thanks, Tom. Coach, Brennan Armstrong with a big first half, including a 64-yard rushing touchdown. What have you thought of your quarterback?
You know, he's made some good decisions. Still challenging him to make sure that he finishes with fundamentals. Missed a couple throws that I know he wants back, but overall he's been leading the charge, been our field general, proud of him so far.
Defensively, your coaching staff said you wanted your team to really focus on stopping the run. What have you thought?
You know, it's been good and bad. They've gassed us with a couple of big plays, and then we've responded. So I'm proud of the way that we've made some adjustments, but that's going to be the biggest challenge at half for the defense. And they ran the ball in, right? So we don't want to give up any rushing touchdowns. We don't want to give up any rushing yards either.
First half as a head coach, having fun?
I'm having fun, but still got a lot of work to do.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Guys.
Oh, he's exactly right. They gave up 105 yards rushing and the TD to Richmond in the first half. Armstrong, 10 of 16 and 132 yards, and the TD pass to Davis, and the TD rush all the way to the end zone from 64 yards away for Armstrong. 28-10, the halftime lead, which is straight ahead from Charlottesville, Virginia. Of UVA, it's our Toyota-driven feature when we come back to Charlottesville, Virginia. This is ACC football.
ACC football is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. CPI Security, home security that protects what matters most. And Yellowwood. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it. This is Driven, Tony Elliott. Presented by your local Toyota dealers.
What were those convincing factors when you were looking over the situation, staying in the ACC and having a chance to go to Charlottesville? What were those things where you thought this is gonna work out?
Yeah, first and foremost, alignment with the president, AD, and myself. That everybody's focused on the development of student athletes. That was the primary focus, and there was a commitment to staying with that approach. And then academics. Opportunity to play on the biggest stage, and then really kind of like a blank canvas to build the program my way and not have external influences telling me how to run the program.
What does it mean to run a Tony Elliott way?
Well, to do it the right way, that we're committed to doing what's right, meaning that we're not going to overlook opportunities to develop young men to win games. So if I know that a young man's not going to class, he's not going to play. Right, doesn't matter who it is. If it's Brennan Armstrong and he doesn't want to go to class, he's not going to play. Because at the end of the day, the number one portion of the vision that we have for our players is to graduate, earn their degree. So if that is the number one staple of what we want for our players, then going to class is more important than going to practice, right? And playing the game. So just being able to do it the right way and being comfortable with, if I lose a game because I did it the right way, then you know what, so be it. But I'm not going to go win games by taking advantage of young people. The program is not going to be defined by wins and losses. It's going to be defined by the development of young men. And our strategic approach is to focus on serving the heart of the young men and not the talent. And the core values come from, you know, that strategic driver and humility, effort, accountability, respect, and toughness. I think that in the game of football, there's a lot of things that can be measured, but a person's heart can't. So we're going to put some parameters and some pillars around it so that when you see a Virginia football player, you see a Virginia man that came from our program, you know that he lives from the heart because of the way that he conducts himself. It's exhilarating, it's frightening, it's exciting. It's I think every emotion I've experienced through the transition, but the biggest thing is it's a blessing. I mean, it's an unbelievable honor and privilege to represent the University of Virginia as a head football coach.
Driven, Tony Elliott is presented by your local Toyota dealers.
28-10, so you're Tony Elliott, James, in that locker room, the grade you give your team for the first 2 quarters of play, your first time on the sidelines as the head coach.
Yeah, you know, everything is so new. We've talked about that ad nauseum here. The one thing I would say is you know, the opportunity for Des Kitchings to call a 2-minute offense in a game situation. He's done it before, but not with Tony Elliott, not with these guys here, the offensive line, to get those reps in. Maybe a little bit of a wasted opportunity to rep that with 3 timeouts there before the half. But hey, you held on to the football. You get the football to start this second half. I tell my defense, hey, we need to stop that run, and we're looking pretty good. I think the secondary is impressive. The angles that they're taking, they're flying around and dropping some guys, keeping guys in front, but they gave up 105 yards on the ground, and they still really haven't stopped Smith right up the middle. He's gashing.
Quarterback for Virginia, Brennan Armstrong, had a couple of big plays in that first half, including his 52nd career TD toss.
Yeah, how about it? He needed 191 yards of total offense to become number 1 here in UVA history, and in game 1 he does it starting with number 1 Davis, and then he does it on the ground as well. 221 total yards for the quarterback from Shelby, Ohio. There's his 54-yard touchdown scamper, and his teammates fire it up. Team's doing a good job, Tom, of holding on to the football. We saw the one fumble in the end zone that was recovered by Hollins and Virginia for a touchdown, but Richmond has to continue that. And look at the penalties. Just 3 penalties, but costly. 40 yards worth of penalties, and at such tough times, they've got to figure out a way to get a stop first time out here and then get that offense clicking behind that run game again.
Virginia averaging almost 8 yards per play, 221 yards of total offense for Brennan Armstrong. We thank you for watching the Toyota Halftime Report.
Remember as a kid.
The season opener for the Cavaliers as Armstrong takes it 64 yards for the touchdown. They have built the 28-10 halftime lead against Russ Huesman and the Richmond Spiders, and he is with our Lindsay Rowley.
Thanks, Tom. Coach Savon Smith had 66 yards and a touchdown running in the first half. What do you think overall of the run game?
I think we're moving the ball pretty good on the ground. I feel pretty good. You know, we've had some seams in there. Our offensive coaches feel like we can run it on them. You know, we haven't hit any really big pass throw game here. We got to somehow get the ball thrown down the field a little bit, but it's a lot to do with Virginia. I mean, they're putting pressure on our quarterback pretty good.
Well, on the other side of the ball, what'd you talk to your defense about here at half?
Get them on the ground, man. We're missing way too many tackles. We've had 2 or 3 just crucial penalties defensively that are just killers where we can get off the field and we don't. So we have to get them on the ground and get away from the penalties.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank y'all.
Guys.
Lindsay, thank you. Just moments away from the start of our second half between Richmond and Virginia, 35th all-time meeting. The Cavalier and Saber, the trusty steed.
Let the horses run, right?
they ran 3 rushing touchdowns for the Cavaliers in the first half.
Well, Coach Huesman, he hit the nail on the head, Tom. We talked about it. it wasn't like it was a half that was just full of penalties. It was 5 total, 3 for his side, 2 for the others. But he mentioned just crucial moments and big penalties, and by leaders like Amir Hall. It just, you can't have those if you want to hang around. So they got to clean that up. And like he said, protect a little bit. Back to those keys to the game, the 4 keys to the game. Line it up, Richmond. That defensive front, they'll be asked to do it right now as they kick off. But then when they get the ball on offense, they're going to have to get some protection.
So line drive into the end zone as Hollins watches it sail. So from the 25 to start the offense for the second half for Virginia. James, we should also mention this is the 39th year of ACC football as we continue the tradition here on Raycom Sports, Valley Sports South, and your regional sports network. 39 years, all the way back to 1984 for ACC football, and we are honored to be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Honored to be a part of it. And what a privilege to be able to go and sit down and look these players in the eye, talk with these coaches, and get to know them. You said it right, partner. And this is year 4 for us. We're seniors. We're working together.
4th years.
Because we're here in Charlottesville.
Here on the grounds, your first year, second year, third year, 4th year. Here's number 4. What a move by Kemp past the 30.
I like the play call here by Des Kitchings. You get everybody going. You know, you finally catch your breath defensively. Little misdirection, moving and throwing it back across. And you get everybody in a white jersey with a white hat on, sprinting the other way, trying to go make first play of the second half. And you bring it back to Billy Kemp. Nice pickup.
Got 7 on the play. His second catch. Now a run. Jones, first down and a flag. Hits the turf near the 39-yard line. Penalty marker, Galloway.
Holding, offense number 67, 10-yard penalty, second down.
Derek Devine is that right guard. Called for the hold. Okay. So Russ Huesman, he's going down. And if I'm going down, you're coming with me. So a nice hold for Paris Jones. A little bit too nice and too easy. Huesman calling for no more penalties from his guys. Let's see what he does when the other team tries to help him out with a penalty.
3rd penalty against Virginia, trying to make up for it. That is Wicks reversing direction. The ball popped out near the 35. That Richmond bench thinks it has the football.
Huge.
Aaron Banks on the cover for the Spiders. Wicks made a move for a second effort, but lost the handle.
Yeah, this is a long throw across the field for Armstrong. And look at this. Look at the hustle play by Philip O'Connor. He misses the tackle on Wicks. Tough in space. Pops right back up and forces the fumble. Excellent job for the senior from Philly, who's waited his turn, started 5 games last year, had a career-high 11 tackles in his first start against Stony Brook, and just an effort play, a hustle play to give his offense a chance here.
They're going to run it inside the 30-yard line. Got 5 on the play. Aaron Dykes doing the legwork. Oh, there's legwork. And there's a conversation going on the sidelines as well. Elliott and Wicks, that's a one-sided conversation and a teaching moment. First down Spiders. Dykes again, 7 yards.
Yeah, how about Aaron Dykes, the Dykes and Smith show. Dykes, the senior out of Knoxville. He went to Hardin Valley Academy, but just found out from Skip, our spotter up here, who's an East Tennessee boy himself, that his dad, Scott, is the head coach at Cock County High School. That was one of our rivals back in Sevier County, way back in the day.
On the edge, Williams.
Tom, when we used to go play at Cock County, our coach told us we'd never take our helmets off because the locals would sit in the trees as they're here in the CPI red zone for the first time in this half. But the locals used to sit in the trees in Cock County and fire BB guns at us on the sideline, so we couldn't take our helmets off.
Oh, rough crowd.
Not anymore, though, Mr. Coach Dykes. They've cleaned it all up now. It's nothing but classy folks up there now.
Just a couple of yards. Dykes runs into Nick Jackson. Jackson, the senior from Atlanta, Georgia. 117 tackles a season ago to lead the team. Best in the conference, 9.8 per game in 2021 for Nick Jackson. 2 of 7 on third down of the game for Richmond. Wicks fumbled it. Richmond took possession here early in the third quarter, trying to harvest some points and needing to convert on third down.
Wow.
Handoff, Dykes, and a first down to the 10. 7 yards on the play.
Third down and 5. And you just get blown off the football. There's a double team, and you've got to be a little bit sterner there in the middle, and you can't get just washed out, especially in a situation like that. Sudden change, you're out there after the fumble, and to let them run for 5 yards right up the gut and convert on a third down. Now it's first and goal.
They want to throw. Williams couldn't hang on. Spiders have a rich tradition of football as well. Their program started in 1881. It's their 139th season. Virginia in its 133rd season of football. The program started in 1888. Smith trying to fight his way inside the 5. It's a 5-yard carry, maybe just inside the 5-yard line for Savon Smith.
You see, Faumui, he tried to sell a big late hit. Nobody bought the acting job. No flags down. So a few yards there. There you see that number down in the corner of your screen. Just 3 of 8 on third down. That last one wasn't pretty for this defense. Let's see if they can stiffen a little bit more right here and force a 4th down and goal.
Rudinsky to the goal line. Touchdown Richmond on the grab. Savon Smith able to hang on. It's a 5-yard TD touchdown pass for the Spiders.
Wow, talk about threading the needle. This is in some traffic, cool and calm. The big gunslinger back there. They'll take another look at this one as Smith is popped as soon as he catches that football. Good job of hanging on to it.
Well, Larson's already kicked the extra point, James. It's a 5-yard touchdown pass. Udinsky to Smith. Absorbed the punishment. Earned the points. 28-17 Cavaliers.
With a new Toyota.
Udinsky to Smith. 2 key third down conversions on that drive, and they take that fumble by Wicks and turn it into points, James.
Absolutely. It started with a hustle play by O'Connor, and it shows you it was, Coach Huseman and his staff doing a good job of going in, talking these guys through it at halftime and making sure they come out playing with some fire. Some big plays defensively and offensively for the Spiders to get right back into this one.
Hollins from the 5. Close to the 30 on the return. 26 yards on the return by Hollins. So Richmond able to break through and score off the first turnover of our game by Wicks on a second effort move on the far side. Coughed it up, and now Richmond has cut the lead down to 28-17. 10:46 to go in the third. Just another thing to consider, James. Remember the Hollins touchdown run in the second quarter. He recovered his own fumble in the end zone. So fortunate for the Cavaliers in that instance. Not so much right here as Wicks can't hang on.
Yeah, so the second time, as you mentioned, the ball hitting the grass for the Cavaliers. Only lost one of those 2, but a costly one. And really, really lucky they didn't lose both of them, as that one in the first half banged off the chin of the official. Here's a 2nd down and 10 now for Elliott's team.
Jones for 3 yards. Touchdown run in the first quarter of 15 yards. Tristan Wheeler once again in on the tackle.
Hey, Fab Five Freddy down there. How many unofficially tackles does Tristan Wheeler have now? Back to back.
We're going with 11, James, according to Freddie Kiger, our statistician.
Make it 12. Give him a dozen. Sounds even better. Why not? Third down.
Yeah, Freddie also tells me 4 of 6 on third down. That's a tough throw, and it's picked off. Aaron Banks, the senior, with the interception. Armstrong was pressured, and he throws the INT.
And the pressure comes from Tristan Wheeler, the captain, the linebacker. Look at him, right up the middle, fighting to break free of the blocker, and then forcing Armstrong to get rid of the ball. Aaron Banks with the interception, breaking on the ball, and that's a fumble recovery. And following it up with an interception for number 8, the senior from Stevens City, Virginia, helping to turn that ball over back into the Spiders' offense. But it all started with the pressure applied by Tristan Wheeler.
Banks had an interception last year. He's got his first of 2022. Ball back to the Spiders. 2 yards on the run, Dykes. The momentum of this game has completely swung in the favor of Richmond. Down the sideline, fight for that one, incomplete. Henley was running down the sideline for Richmond along with Ventrell Cypress.
John Rosinski is the secondary coach along with the defensive coordinator, and I've been impressed with the way his defensive backs have played. Fundamentally sound. Watch those eyes, snap that head around, know that, don't get too much space between you and the receiver. Nice job to force a third down and long.
Near the 30-yard line, that's going to be short of the first down as Udzinski just got that one away. 7 yards to DeGennaro. First catch of the game for Nick DeGennaro.
Yeah, this is a 4th and short here, and Udzinski has to come off the field because his helmet came off and no flag. Unfortunately for them, they've got some experience in Jake Larson, who already hit a 45-yarder right down the middle.
Larson hit that in the second quarter. This is 47 yards. His career long is 50, so he has the power. Does he have the accuracy? He does not. So a make and a miss for Larson. And so the interception from Armstrong. Virginia's going to get away with it this time. So the Spiders and Jake Larson unable to convert from 47 yards away. It is still 28-17 in the third.
Atlanta area Chick-fil-A's are proud to partner with the Atlanta Braves Foundation on the Home Plate Project, helping to fight food insecurity to families in need throughout the communities they serve. More info at braves.com/homeplate.
Get going. Get after it. Get momentum. Then get more of it. Wherever potential leads you next, get there with a bank you trust.
My goodness! What a machine! Look how it tiptoes that baseline. So nimble. It crosses over left, mows right. Someone go check the angles on that gnome. Everyone is raving about the Works Landroid robotic lawnmower. It's been doing hill work all off-season, and its coach calls the plays from the palm of his hand. Its stats are absolutely eye-popping. Over 4.5 million hours of mowing saved. This kit is the future. Go to mylandroid.com and add a robotic lawnmower to your yard team.
The sidelines and Lindsey Rowley.
Thanks, Tom. Well, Brennan Armstrong has been under center a lot today, and that center is Ty Furnish. Coming into this season, the Virginia starting center position was up for grabs. Ty Furnish ended up getting the job. I spoke with Ty earlier this week, and he told me that he put in extra work this summer as far as doing footwork drills and staying in shape. He said he came into preseason confident, but knew he had something to prove. Also spoke with Brennan Armstrong himself, and he said that one of Ty's biggest assets is how smart he is. He really enjoys playing with Ty and really has been impressed with the way he stepped up this entire preseason. Also, Coach Kitchings told me yesterday the big difference maker that won Ty Furnish the job was his ability to gain more confidence. He said his confidence is at a whole new level this year, and he's had the ability to be more vocal. Back to you, Tom.
Well, Lindsay, we know that this offense starts from the inside out. You can't get more inside than Ty Furnish, the sophomore from Woodstock, Georgia. Here comes Virginia after turnovers on their last 2 series, and this one is incomplete. Keaton Thompson, intended target. James, it starts with the center right over that football.
Yeah, it certainly does. And you know, and like Lindsay said, when you can combine the brains with the confidence and the understanding of the offense and what these defenses are doing across from you, I mean, that's huge, because he's not just snapping a football and trying to hit people. He's making all those protection calls. He's got to be on the same page. Wow, here's a bad snap. This is we're bragging on him.
Trying to recover. Armstrong, completed pass near the 40. Thompson, and across the 40 for a first down. So, James, prior to that, Armstrong had been 6 of 15 after starting the game, 6 of 6, and a TD pass to Davis.
Yeah. Well, this one, he does a great job of dribbling it right back up and finding his receiver. I mean, that's tough to do. It's tough enough to take your eyes off the defense for a split second to catch that ball, but when you're dribbling it, it's even tougher.
Armstrong again, and that could be classified as a drop by Davis. And he knows it based on the body language.
This is an offense. They are Brennan Armstrong. It starts with him. Heck, even Ty Furnish with the snap a couple snaps ago. But you know, you've got Brennan, you've got Lavelle Davis, and Keaton Thompson. That ball was a little bit off, but the fumble by Wicks. Hey, just go out and play ball. Take a deep breath and relax and play football. Be ball players. This is not what you were expecting from these experienced guys at the skill positions for Virginia on the offensive side of the ball. Maybe a few hiccups on that defensive side of the ball as they try to figure out who they are after the tough year last year. They'll take a break, and we'll take it with them. We've got a good one here in Charlottesville. 8:23 left in the third.
When it comes to your yard, you are a machine programmed to prevail and on a mission to upgrade your lawn game. So it's time to power the machine with Green Machine. Available exclusively online at HomeDepot.com.
I was curious about trick plays and if ever that local hero, national champ, now he's home and expected to save the franchise. Hey guys, am I dreaming or can we actually win this thing?
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school.
Jessica has been through a lot in her life from early childhood.
My husband.
Z-Max Micro Lubricant. Extend engine life. Increase fuel mileage. Available at Advanced Auto Parts. And Green Machine. Available exclusively online at HomeDepot.com.
These are just some of the renderings of the new facilities that will be built. Groundsbreaking here in Charlottesville, Virginia. Multi-million dollar facilities should open up in the next couple of years. So it is a new chapter of Virginia football. And certainly Bronco Mendenhall left this program in fine shape. Unfortunately, last year their Fenway Bowl game against SMU was canceled, and they lost 4 in a row to end the season, finished 6-6. So they turned the page to 2022, and right now, James, they're in a fight right now with the Richmond Spiders, 28-17 here in the third.
Well, you mentioned Bronco Mendenhall and his opener back in 2016. It was Richmond that came in and his head coaching debut in Charlottesville anyway, and gave him a loss. So these guys just being just about an hour away, and they got to hear all about how exciting it is for UVA football right now. They get tired of hearing it. There's a hold. This one will come back.
That was Hollins trying to turn the corner. 2 flags at least out on the field.
10-yard penalty, second down.
That picture, though, that we showed, the groundbreaking with Tony Elliott there in the middle. There it is. Easy to see that one on the edge. But Carla Williams, the athletic director here at Virginia, has just done a fantastic job, and not just in what she's doing with this football, helping with this football program, but across the board. And, you know, one sport that I follow quite a bit is swimming. Todd DeSorbo and company, they've got a fantastic women's program just up the hill, winning national championships.
Armstrong stepping up.
Wow. That'll erase that, won't it? In a hurry.
James, 17 yards for Armstrong.
Nothing there. It was just what to do with it. He tucks that ball away, and, you know, carrying it out in his palm as he gets into traffic. He tucked it away, fortunately. But here's a third down and manageable now.
Armstrong is over 100 yards rushing in the game. Did have that long TD run in the second quarter of 64 yards.
Boley, the true freshman, left tackle, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, in there starting today.
Armstrong eludes 2 men now. Decides to just take a dive right there at the 48. Probably a good decision by the veteran QB.
Yeah, and a good job by Justin Wood's defense. Keep those vice angles. There's Coach Wood right there. You know, the first guy misses, and that's going to happen with the Brennan Armstrong. You get back there and you're running around like a blind dog in a meat market, you know, just sniffing around, and they got a quick guy like Armstrong. He's going to break free every now and then, but that second wave, they bottled him up. Be careful. Middle of the field punt situations, you got to play it safe. That's what they're doing, is a safe punt defense.
Sparks punts it. Smith watches it. Takes a big bounce inside the 5, and it is down around the 2, maybe? Wow, what a bounce, what a play on special teams, and the punt by Sparks.
Look who they've got down there, Wicks. Dontavion Wicks down there first. Back turn to the goal line, first guy, and he does a good job. Almost lost it, but it was because of a really funky hop. It helped out UVA and puts Udinski in this Richmond Spider offense with a long way to go as they trail by 11 points. They've looked pretty good here in the second half with the short field.
After the 49-yard punt, their worst starting field position of the game for the Spiders. Savon Smith, who has a touchdown run and a touchdown catch in this game, maybe a yard. And because of his efforts so far in this game, he's built tough. It's brought to you by Wrangler, and it features Savon Smith. He is built tough today with the 2 touchdowns, 1 running, 1 receiving. And he took a pop on that receiving TD at the goal line as well.
Yeah, held on to the football to score that touchdown. Cut into this lead and take advantage of that big turnover.
Smith is the back once again, heels on the goal line. Pass complete, Harris. Out past the 15, that's first down yardage. Closer to the 20, Nick Jackson making the tackle. 12 yards on the play. First down, Richmond.
They choose not to go with the hurry up right here. And you know, those 2 guys right there, we talked about Billy Koch, the first-year offensive coordinator coming from VMI. And he coached both Udinski and Harris to some great numbers a couple years ago when they were together still.
Udinski scrambles up the middle. He gets hit by Famui.
You know, I know it's hot here in this second half, and you don't want to make mistakes. Here you go. There's a look at the transfers. And you mentioned it earlier. Udinski went over to Maryland, and there's a backup quarterback there. Harris just continued to impress there for Coach Koch, and both of them, as they transferred, they could have gone to a lot of different places. They wanted to be back together, and they wanted to be with Koch, their offensive coordinator.
Big hit on the play. No gain. Ahern made the play on Smith after the grab.
How about Ahern back, way back, think last year in that Virginia Tech game, he had a targeting call in the second half, so he was out that one. And then what was probably going to be the bowl game, but it was canceled. So Josh Ahern had to sit out the first half of this game, and he did that. He's out of the penalty box now, and he's making plays. That was a nice tackle in open field to force a third down. Welcome back, Josh Ahern.
4 of 10 on third down, intercepted. Ahern grabs it and takes it to the 30.
There's a flag down. Came before the snap. And I don't know if it's a substitution penalty, Tom.
Udinski was looking for Devaney.
Illegal substitution. Defense.
Wow.
12 men on the field at the snap. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
So that erases the interception from Josh Ahern.
You know, ironing it out. It's you take the good and you take the bad of it all. The first time out as a head coach, and that's one of the wrinkles that you get to iron out. Hopefully you hang on and are able to win a football game like this, but you learn and grow from it. But look at that. You're going to have the football in outstanding territory, get the momentum back. Instead, here we go.
Smith. Elusive running from Smith for 14 yards. Bratton made the tackle for Virginia.
Yeah, and they go right back at it. Smith is great straight ahead. Here's the hurry up. Nobody said another flag coming down, and gosh, this might be a substitution penalty as well.
Flag is out. Yeah. Williams made the catch. Ball's at the 49 right now. 6 yards on the previous play. There is a penalty marker.
With this tempo offense.
Illegal substitution. Defense, 12 men on the field. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
So you give him a freebie, and now you've got a first down and 5. Tony Elliott upset because Virginia, with this tempo, you can't substitute. If Richmond doesn't send anybody off, you can, but you don't have enough time to do it. And they get the snap off with 12 guys on the field. Again, second time on this drive.
It's Dykes this time. The 1-2 punch of Aaron Dykes and Savon Smith. He got 2.
Josh Ahern back there on the tackle. He's talking about guys excited to get out there and play football. And imagine going through 2-a-days that off season. You have to sit and wait the entire first half and watch your buddies out there, Nick Jackson and company, go out there and make plays.
Stopping the run was the weakness last season for Virginia, 14th in the conference in that category. Smith leads the way with 88 yards on the ground. Dykes trying to add to his total. That's a first down run, 45-yard line. He got 5. You can't run the ball like this, James, without the big guys up front protecting on the throw. Williams to the near side.
I like this play call. You've got the guys inside. They're gassed. That's obvious because you're gashing them on that run just right up the gut. Your offensive line is pushing them around. So make them get up and run sideline to sideline with these passes, these lateral passes across the field. You think they were gassed a couple plays before? How about now? And here's a substitution as Faumui comes back in. But still, you've got them on their heels up front, and you want to just keep pounding it. A nice mix-up and a nice play call by Billy Koch.
1:40 and rolling on the clock to go in the third. It'll be near the 35-yard line. Henley made the grab for 6 yards. Henley led the team last year with 35 catches and 459 yards receiving, and now third and very short. That is short. Dykes knocked down near the 35-yard line. Needed to get to that 35 and did not quite get there.
Carter back there, the man in the middle, the junior from Maryland. A fourth down and very short. Yeah, you want to be cautious, but You'd also almost like to see a little bit of hurry up if you're a Richmond fan here, because that's where they've really hurt them when Virginia can barely get in that stance. Big 4th and short coming up now.
Not going to get it. Driven back on 4th down. So now the Spiders 0 for 2 on 4th down in the game. Virginia's defense holds.
Well, bend, but don't break. And when you needed it the most, there you go. Great penetration. There's Ahern coming back from behind. Excellent job. Jack Camper as well, the transfer from Michigan State. 4th and short. And Coach Huseman's team has been able to run the football up and down the field, but stopped short on a couple 4th down tries by John Rosinski's defense. And here comes Armstrong and company now.
Hollins with the run. Past the 40. Be sure to stick with us after the 3rd quarter for the 4th. Brought to you by CPI Security. The 4th is back again, James, for 2022.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready.
It's coming soon. 20 seconds,
right.
James. The countdown is on. There might be some homemade meatloaf in it for you if you perform well in the 4th. How's that?
Okay. Only if it's as good as the meatloaf I had at Ralph Sampson's restaurant.
Oh, wasn't that great?
It was fun. Got to meet the former Cavalier basketball star.
Ralph Sampson's American Tap Room right here in Charlottesville, Virginia. They were hosting us last night. Cavaliers are hosting the Spiders, and we've completed 3. 28-17, the lead for Virginia. Welcome to the 4th. It's brought to you by CPI Security. That's home security that protects what matters most. And what matters most to Tony Elliott is winning this game, but it's a close one right now, James.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not going to be easy. They've got to get back into a groove, into a rhythm offensively. Everybody just kind of assumed that they would just roll out there and roll up and down the field offensively, but that's been surprising. Brendan Armstrong and company have really had some hiccups in the second half. What also has impressed the offense for the Richmond Spiders, they are running that football on the ground. They get stuffed there on 4th down, but they're really having their way and having some success. Let's see if the defense for the Hoos can stiffen.
Very important possession right now for Virginia. They stopped them on 4th and 4th. They've got the ball back. They've got to do something here, respond, because the Spiders are sticking around.
Well, and again, I think they just need to relax and be ball players that they are. We all know that. They're all experienced, and they've done it in the first half. It isn't like they're coming out, these are first half jitters. I don't know what was said in the halftime locker room, but they just need to take a deep breath.
We'll get you to the start of the 4th quarter next, right after a quick message from CPI Security, and we thank you for watching the 4th from Charlottesville. The Cavaliers have won 5 straight season openers. The last time they lost a season opener, 2016, to the Richmond Spiders. Right now, they've got the 28-17 lead. They led 28-10 at halftime. Russ Huseman on the left, first-year head coach Tony Elliott on the right for the Cavaliers. And ready to roll and rock with the 4th quarter. Tom Wormy, James Bates, Lindsey Rowley, and our outstanding ACC college football production crew. Thompson at the 45, trying to break tackles. Transfer from Mississippi State. It's wrestled out of bounds. There's a lot of plays that guy, James, number 99, has to memorize in the playbook.
Yeah, he can do it all. That's what you get when you're a Swiss Army knife of sorts. You can play quarterback and throw the football. Came in as a quarterback. Put him at the tight end position as well. 6'5", 216-pounder from New Orleans.
And 78 catches a season ago for 990 yards. Had 11 catches at Pitt for a career high. Armstrong over the middle. 99 is Thompson inside the 30 with the leaping grab.
That's the groove, and that's the rhythm that I was talking about just moments ago. Watch Armstrong, just little sidearm sling. and in between, he's got that big body, that big target, but still he's throwing it, threading the needle in between that defense, behind in that zone, and just sitting down and finding that football. Thompson, good job.
25 yards on the previous play to the end zone, and incomplete. That was Wicks in orange against Sigler in white.
Good job by Sigler to not give up. Wicks has a step on him and a little bit of space, but that right there comes with pre-snap with your lineup. You got to make sure that you give enough cushion to that sideline, give enough space so you can run that fade and give your quarterback a chance to put it in there where you don't run out of room, run out of real estate. Wicks almost had a nice touchdown right there.
Armstrong bashes his way inside the 25. Not afraid to absorb some punishment and contact, and that is a hard-earned 5 yards for number 5.
Yeah, that's fitting that dude right there has a big chunk of grass on his helmet. His teammates call him McGregor.
He's got 109 yards rushing in this game. Last year, 6 times he threw for over 400 yards in a game, a school record. This year, he's got one TD pass so far, James. Kemp, 16-yard line and a first down. Billy Kemp.
Well, of all the big bodies, it's that guy that you got to key on in these third down and medium situations. And it's the timing, it's the route. The little slot guys can be so tough and such a tough matchup for these defenders.
First down after the 8-yard pass play. Right side, Jones. Some room to operate. About the 7-yard line. Might be a little bit short of the marker.
Almost had him for a loss. There's Banks. Banks has had a heck of a day. Fumbled recovery, interception. A bunch of tackles mixed in there, and a nice gain on first down instead of a 2nd and 1.
Jones dropped for a loss. Jeremiah Grant. That's a loss of 4.
Jeremiah Grant, just a sophomore from South Orange, New Jersey. We've called 44's number quite a bit. And usually when we do, it's because he's coming with the penetration. He's in that backfield disrupting what they're trying to do offensively. So it was 2nd and 1, thinking you'd have a few fun play calls, and now you're 3rd down and 5, a little bit more interesting.
5 of 9 on 3rd down. Armstrong lofts it to the end zone, and hanging on for the touchdown is Paris Jones.
Armstrong sees the backers walked up. They're showing blitz. Looks like they're going to bring the house. And you know what? They do. But they don't get there. And even if you do get there, you give Armstrong just a second. He's going to find that open guy, Paris Jones, slipping out of that backfield and into the end zone for a touchdown through the air.
Extra point is no good.
So Paris Jones came into this game with 3 carries in his career. He had a rushing touchdown earlier. Touchdown reception, making sure that he's got those feet in there. And now it's 34-17.
Taking a chance.
For 17 after the TD toss by Brennan Armstrong of 11 yards to Paris Jones, his 2nd touchdown. He's got 1 rushing and receiving, and that brings us to our Max Performance, brought to you by Z-Max. Brennan Armstrong continues to rack up the numbers in this game. On his 64-yard TD run in the 2nd quarter, he went to the top of the list in total offense here in Virginia football history, James.
Yes, sir, and quite the leader as well of this Cavalier football team. And just keeps on coming. This is just game number 1, so there's a whole lot more where that came from. Maybe not the same as it's been the last couple seasons, though. Last year against Wake, Armstrong threw the ball 70 times, I think it was. And as we mentioned earlier, 405 yards a game average last year. And the next closest wasn't even at 350 averaging in the ACC. But that was with Robert Anae, who's now the offensive coordinator up at Syracuse. They've got a big one tonight against Louisville. But the new sheriff in town, Tony Elliott, and his new offensive coordinator, Des Kitchings.
So early in the fourth, while we have a moment, let's get a message from Wrangler.
It's in all of us, the courage to go all in. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Brennan Armstrong throwing his 53rd career touchdown pass to make it 34-17, and now his counterpart, Reese Udinsky, a graduate student, played at Maryland last year, 39 games with VMI prior to that. Spiders trailed 28-10 at halftime. They scored on a 5-yard TD run by Smith to make it 28-17. 11-yard TD pass for Virginia, and here we are 34-17. Dyke's second effort, lunging for the 40, comes up short. 3 yards. There is a player down for Virginia, and that's Antonio Cleary, the senior from Jacksonville, Florida. So let's step aside for just a moment. We'll come back and update you on the status of Antonio Cleary.
When it comes to your yard, you are a machine programmed
to you by Green Machine. Cavaliers up 34-17 as we play in the fourth. James Bates.
Well, there you see the penalties for Richmond, still at 3. That's what they had in the first half. Coach Russ Huseman making sure he told his guys he wanted to stay right there. A couple penalties for the Cavs in this second half. The points off of turnovers, huge. A couple big turnovers forced by Richmond, and only one of them getting points as the Spiders offense was stuffed on a 4th down and very short. And offense out there led by Reese Udinsky back out with 11:20 left to work here in the fourth quarter.
Spiders were 6-5 last season, their first winning season since 2017. For Coach Russ Huseman in his 6th year as the Spiders head coach. Udinsky on the run and just gets rid of it wisely.
Dang, big Jameer Carter was coming, man. 315-pounder. You see big 90? Oh.
Udinsky saw him.
He felt him. That orange was hot.
Yeah. Objects in the mirror are closer than they appear.
Ace Ventura says it a different way.
How's he say it?
I can't say it on the air.
It's a family show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, it's great to have you with us for another season of ACC football here on Valley Sports South and Raycom Sports and the Regional Sports Network. Udinsky once again on the run and just has to heave it. Bennett and Carter bearing down on number 2.
There's the defensive coordinator, the new man, first-year guy from the Air Force Academy, John Rosinski. Heating it up front. His guys got after the quarterback, and maybe more importantly there on that 3rd down stop, his secondary. Great coverage because there was a little bit of time up front for Udinsky. Secondary did their job, everybody working together on the same page, and they get off that field, force a punt.
Kemp is deep for Virginia. Stands at his 22-yard line. Trussler just did get that away. Here's Kemp showing some bravery at the 21-yard line. 41-yard punt. The return was 1.
Good job by the special teams. Coach Rudd, as they call him. On and off the field with some fire. That's how you do it.
Why spend all your money on just one part at the typical auto parts store? When at rockauto.com, you can get all the parts you need with money left over to buy lunch. Go to rockauto.com.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
Curious about trick plays and if ever
Local hero, national champ, now he's home and expected to save the franchise.
Hey guys, am I dreaming or can we actually win this thing?
Football, beer, wings. Yes. Boneless wings on pizza. TVs, overtime, wings on pizza. Sauce, friends, wings on pizza. Wings, pizza, pizza, wings, beer, and now pizza! B-Dubs is the only place for football.
I have, over my 30 years, seen many patients who have excessive sweating. I recommend Carpe. It's a game changer.
Carpe is up to 3 times stronger than a regular strength antiperspirant. Try it today at mycarpe.com with limited time free shipping.
That ball is caught. He got him.
The Braves are serving up fresh marlin from the Magic Stadium in a divisional showdown.
This kid is something else.
Coverage begins tonight at 6:30 Eastern on Bally Sports Southeast and on the Bally Sports app.
Better have my money. When you need daily sports gambling talk.
Yeah, my team, a lot of these coaches for Richmond know quite a bit about. Duke looked good last night. Couple more, so we keep going, Only 21 points scored by the NC State football team and Raleigh that we'll see next week. And people expecting a lot out of that offense and the defense as well. There weren't many question marks going into the season on the defensive side of the ball there, but hoping they can hang on, and we'll see a 1-0 Wolfpack team next week.
Armstrong sends it. A lot of contact between receiver and defender. Davis, the receiver, Hall, the defender, and there are at least 3 penalty markers on the field.
Yeah. Amir Hall's a freshman All-American last year. He's too good of a defensive back, and he's too fundamentally sound to play that ball the way he did. You know, those eyes get big, and shoot, I don't know, maybe Lavelle Davis is just too tall. You can't see his eyes, but he's stride for stride. Those eyes get big, and those hands go up. See, he's right in the hip pocket. The stutter step, he hangs with it. A little bit of space. Those eyes get big. You got to snap that head around, and you don't let too much space in between. Snap that head around, you're not going to get a penalty and a chance at an interception.
Penalty was against Davis. So they'll spot it beyond the 35-yard line for Virginia. Armstrong put on the brakes, dumped it off. It's complete up near midfield. Grant Mish.
He's crafty. It's a little sidearm sling by Brennan Armstrong, and he's just so cool and calm. And he just finds a way. He knows what his guys are doing. He's kind of calmed it back down after had a couple of hiccups, he and the rest of the offense there. But he just doesn't panic. And I like the cool and casual way he slings that football. It's not one of these, big-bodied gunslingers that stands up there tall and perfect form over the top. But he's just crafty and finds a way to make it happen. There's Wheeler, just keeps on coming. We'll have to keep an eye on him throughout the season. He'll probably go 150 plus this season. He's back-to-back 100-yard plus tackle seasons for Wheeler. Preseason All-American. Boom! There he is again, Grant.
No gain on the play for Hollins, who got 6 on the previous play. Jeremiah Grant, 6'2", 245.
Grant, they're having a tough time blocking him. This is a team, they're replacing one of the best defensive lines in the CAA last year, and we knew they'd have a little bit of inexperience up front, but Grant and company, they're growing up in a hurry. Just need some birthdays. Just need a few more birthdays is all.
Getting a breather with those temps in the mid-80s down on the field. It's steamy at the 40. Davis hanging on for the first down.
Taking some shots. He's banged up a little bit as he'll hobble over to the sideline. But, again, this is tough coverage. And putting that ball in there right on the spot where he has to, that's number one. Number two, Davis has got to be tough. He's got to be physical himself to not let that ball go out. Good strong hands. See him as he works those paws. I bet you he's happy to be back. Missed all of last year, as we mentioned, after that incredible 2020 season.
3 catches in the game for Davis, including a TD grab. Armstrong just did get it away. He had 2 and 3 white shirts on top of him and was able to send it toward his own bench. Hall and Joseph in there.
Tom, he just did get it back to the line of scrimmage. Would have been intentional grounding had he not gotten it up there. Lived to throw another down, though, for Tony Elliott here, so it's a 2nd down and 10.
8:22 on the game clock. A 28-10 halftime lead for the Cavaliers. That ball was fumbled around a little bit by Armstrong. Never really did recover. Kept possession, but is dropped in the backfield. Tristan Wheeler, Amir Hall. I'll meet you at the quarterback. Wheeler's up to 16 tackles.
Oh, Armstrong came up there, Tom, holding his shoulder. Gosh.
And a loss of 5 on the play as well. James, you're right. Armstrong is moving very slowly toward his own bench. So let's take a timeout with 8:03 to go in the game, and the Cavaliers leading the Spiders. Came to the sideline, James, favoring that left shoulder, and the medical staff has taken a look at him during the course of this timeout.
Yeah, so here's the sack. Once again, Hall and Wheeler, the tackling machine. After they get on him, he was banged up coming off of the field, and then as he went over to the huddle there during the timeout, during the break, he kept circling that left shoulder, and it is his left side, which is his throwing arm. Hopefully he's okay. What a hit that would be. And over to that defensive side. My goodness. Tristan Wheeler, as advertised, 17 tackles we have him for right now. Half a sack, 7 solo tackles. Oh, Tom, I always wanted to get 20, and I never got 20. That was always my goal. I would write it on my forearm. I got 18 once against Georgia Southern. This guy's still got 8 minutes left in this game. We might see Tristan Wheeler hit 20 plus.
3rd and long for the Cavaliers. 7 of 11 in the game on 3rd down. Armstrong back out there. 34-17 Virginia. Once again pressure, dumps it off. Jones. That's well short of the first down. They had to get to the 30 of Richmond. Only got 3 yards on the play. Phil O'Connor made the tackle, but the pressure for Brandt again, James.
Yeah, Brandt again, and it's a 4-man rush. 4-man rush, and immediately, as soon as that ball's in the hands of Brennan Armstrong, he's got a Richmond Spider in his lap. And then you take that the next step. Great job by the vice angles there for the defense to just wrap up the ball carrier, the receiver, and drop him and force the punt. They're going to have to figure out a way to stop some of these guys. Going out to Champaign, take on the Fighting Illini of Illinois next week. Going to have to patch it up in a hurry, take the pressure off of Armstrong.
Flags are out prior to the punt by Sparks.
Ball start. Offense number 3, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Virginia won at home last year against Illinois, 42-14 in mid-September.
Illinois win last night. I think they won last night over Indiana. Anybody know that? No, they lost?
Indiana
won,
I think.
Oh, wow, okay.
Well, Illinois at quarterback was the former Syracuse quarterback, Tommy DeVito.
Ah, that's right.
I digress. Inside of 7 minutes to go in the game. That's a low snap. Whoa. Sparks able to get it away. It's going to bounce into the end zone. That punt of 46 yards. James, right now, let's get a message from Works Nitro.
Meet Works Nitro. Powerful tools for any project with gas-like power without the gas. Fueled by PowerShare batteries to give you the power to outperform.
Tom, there are 2 guys that can block this punt. You know, when you step out there, you line up in your position, whatever your duty is on each play, you got to expect to make that play. And they got to take proper angles. They just ran right by the punter. They were even with him when he punted the ball away.
This pass is complete. Past the 30-yard line to the 31. First down, 11 yards on the play.
Here's one more look at it. It's snaps low. Good job by the big man to go down and get it. But you've got to take those angles at the punter, at that ball, I should say, where the foot, the launch point is going to be. That's a block punt all day long. But here they go on offense trying to move it.
Udinsky gets dropped at the 30. He tried to hang in there as best he could, James. Couldn't stay much longer, and Ahern brought him down for a loss of 3.
Ahern, man, he came back. He's mad at the world. Going to make me sit out. I wanted to sit out the first half of that Fenway Bowl. You're going to cancel the bowl on me. And now, one of the new rules here in 2022, when there's a targeting call in that second half, here, let him play this second down play and talk about that. All right, incomplete pass. It'll bring up a third down and long. But interesting. So let's say if there were a targeting call right now, there would be a player that would be ejected for the rest of this game. The second half, if you will, is what they call it. But then, since it's a full game penalty, you have to sit out the first half of the next game. But in 2022, they will review it back at headquarters and say, hey, that wasn't a target. You know, and coaches have to appeal it, but it's like he doesn't need to sit out, and they can appeal and they can win is one of the new rules. Here's a big third and long now, Tom.
Williams made the catch. That's going to be short of the 42. Udinsky did all he could on that play. They got 8 yards. It's not quite enough. Only up to the 38-yard line.
They'll send the punting unit in there, and you got to think that Virginia will come out with a punt save team just to make sure they do punt it away. 5:22 left. Russ Huseman's team this year picked to finish 4th in the CAA. They're ranked 24th in both polls, FCS polls, a top 25 team, and you got to think they're going to make some noise in the CAA a little bit this year. Good-looking football team, I think, from top to bottom.
Kemp makes the fair catch as we head down to the sidelines in Lindsay.
Tom, it's pretty obvious to everyone that Virginia new head coach, that is, Tony Elliott, cares about his players way beyond the football field. Coach Elliott was an academic all-ACC selection during his senior season at Clemson. Prime example of someone who made the most of his career as an athlete and a student. He wants the same for his players. Coach Elliott said the reality is, for most players, the transition after football is a hard transition. He wants his kids to be able to bob and weave so they get a head start on life. Coach Elliott actually class checks his players himself. He also has gone as far as he got his guys fitted for suits for when they go on interviews, and he got them golf lessons because he said a lot of business dealings deal around golf.
Man, Lindsay, why'd you have to tell me all that?
I like that.
I left the meeting yesterday thinking, you know what? I'd like to play for Tony Elliott. But if he's going to check and see if I'm going to class.
Give me a suit.
And he's going to make me golf. I might transfer. No. I might take advantage of that. I don't want to golf.
Lessons, buddy.
Oh,
I heard about your golf game.
Oh, no.
I'm staying 6 years if we're doing that.
Oh, now I feel sorry for these Cavs. I was so fired up for them. Oh, but no, he's got them in suits. Lindsay, you saw him down on the field before the game. They're wearing suits on game day as they travel. They're on the buses and planes.
They are. He pays attention to all the little details off the field as well, guys. It's really impressive. He was really fun to talk to yesterday.
He was, and it really was interesting. Oh, man, almost a big play there. And Davis knows it. He almost made one guy miss, and then it was to the house. But, you know, it was funny because he said, as an offensive coordinator, I worry about calling ball plays and, you know, moving that football and taking care of my guys. But as a head coach, our third bus had a flat yesterday. It's like, and now I got to deal with that. Like, that's on me to make sure that all is taken care of. And it's stuff that you kind of take for granted. These new head coaches, they're getting involved with.
Tony Elliott, the 43-year-old from Watsonville, California, attended high school in Charleston, South Carolina. We were talking about experience, James, as far as playing and coaching. He was also an assistant at Furman and South Carolina State, the football championship subdivision. And he played for our broadcast colleague, Tommy Bowden at Clemson. He was wide receiver and a co-captain in 2003. That year they went 9-4. They were number 22 in the country. He was a walk-on wide receiver playing for Tommy, and then finished up his career in 03.
Yeah, he met Dabo Swinney when he was 22 years old and spent the majority of his coaching career there coaching with him, for him, at Clemson. And, you know, one thing that I asked him, I said, the guys that came from Clemson with you, the coaches on the staff, your personnel, do they see some Dabo in you? He said, oh, yeah. He said they always say you are your dad's son. So I guess Dabo back in Clemson has got to be pretty proud that Tony Elliott is now the head coach. There's a nice picture of the two of them. Head coach of the University of Virginia, and it's going to move to 1-0 here in 2022.
How about 4 times together in the national championship game?
Wow.
And that includes the national titles in 16 and 18. 2018, they were 15-0 and won the Cotton Bowl in the championship game of the college football playoff, which, by the way, James, is about to expand to 12 teams in the next couple of years, potentially.
I like it.
There is some news out there. That's a first down run.
Xavier Brown getting in there. The first-year running back from Lexington, Kentucky, getting his chance here with under 2 minutes to go, running hard, trying to make it down near that goal line. Yeah, 12 teams, and rumor has it there'll be some on-campus playoff games. There you go, standing ovation.
So James, he was 21 of 33, 246 yards, couple of touchdown passes, 1 TD run. We'll update those numbers here with 1:29 to go. Total offense, Brennan Armstrong, number 1 now in school history. He did it with the 64-yard TD run in the second quarter. 11-yard TD pass, 56-yard TD pass to Davis as well in the first quarter, James.
There's the reliever. They go.
He is the reliever.
Yeah, I know, in more ways than one, right?
Going to the
Great
bullpen.
baseball player.
I saw Jay at the ACC baseball tournament in Charlotte, North Carolina this past May.
He was a freshman All-American on the baseball team, Woolfolk was. Now, they had him throwing a 97-mile-per-hour fastball, but we saw him yesterday, and he said it was 99. So
it's only a yard on the play. So here are the numbers for Armstrong. Went over 100 yards rushing, 246 through the air, and the Cavaliers and Brennan Armstrong are 1-0 as the final seconds will tick off the clock. And guess what? Tony Elliott also 1-0. Give him the football for that first career win as a head coach here on the sidelines in Charlottesville.
Absolutely. Plenty to work on as they go back at it and watching the tape and getting back at it in practice before they take on the Illini. But bottom line, you won a football game, and it wasn't easy. And shakes hands with Russ Huseman over there, and this will be an interesting year to watch Richmond as well. But congratulations on his first head coaching outing. Tony Elliott goes to 1-0.
So they will celebrate in Charlottesville and here at Scott Stadium, 34-17 the final. That is now 6 straight wins in season openers for Virginia, and they're now 17-4 in the last 4+ seasons at home. That's 22 wins in their last 25 games at home for the Cavaliers. Scott Stadium, the place to be today as we go down to Lindsay.
Thanks, Tom. Well, Coach, at halftime, you told me you were having fun, but there was still work to be done. So what do you think of your team in the second half and their ability to get this win?
Proud of the guys. They found a way to get a win, but definitely a lot to improve upon. I thought the guys took their foot off the gas. We started making just simple mistakes. I wanted to see a little bit more of a killer instinct, but hey, that's why we're here as coaches, to help these guys learn how to finish games. But nonetheless, hey, you win a game, it's hard work, and I'm proud of our guys.
Paris Jones had over 100 yards on the ground, and 2 touchdowns. What do you think of him today?
Oh, excited for him, proud of him. As I said, a lot of people may have questioned early on, but hopefully you saw why. He runs hard, he's tough, he's a little guy, but you get everything you got out of him.
You get win number 1 as Virginia's head coach as the clock finally ticked down to 0. How good did it feel?
Oh, it felt good. Now I'm just trying to make sure everybody knows what to do post-game to get to the V-Sabre so we can sing the good old song to the band.
We appreciate it. Congratulations, Coach.
All right, thank you very much.
Guys.
Lindsay, thank you. James, 505 total yards, 246 through the air, 259 on the ground. Pretty balanced.
Yeah, and like you said, plenty to work on, but you could also tell that it is a relief. It's tough to win football games anymore. Just ask those Hokies up the road losing to Old Dominion last night. Not easy to go away with a win against anybody. Doesn't matter if the competition's in the ACC or in the CAA, but with 34-17 the final, they'll take it. Win number 1, and quite a day for Brennan Armstrong and company. Congratulations to the one they call McGregor. Tough like Conor McGregor, career high, all-time quarterback at Virginia.
We're going to run it back next Saturday. The NC State Wolfpack, number 13 in the nation, hosting Charleston Southern, the Buccaneers. Coming to Raleigh, and we'll have it for you 12:30 next week. ACC football here on your regional sports network, and we thank you for watching. For James Bates, Lindsey Rowley, and our outstanding production crew, I'm Tom Werman, saying so long from Charlottesville, Virginia.